Whoops. We're going to see that a little bit later on. We want to watch this. I gave you a little sneak preview of Tatiana's video, which we're going to see, but instead we want to start with this one.
What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Awakening World. It's Saturday night. We've got a great show. We've got some great music, and we have some really special souls that I'm excited to be sharing with you tonight. We are going to be introducing you to some of the next generation of leaders for an awakening world. And this is a really exciting collaboration with one of my favorite human beings, and that's Reverend Deborah Moldow. She is my co-host for the evening. She's the director of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle, and she and I are blessed to be giving birth. We're like a little mama and papa giving birth to a new baby, which is a new synergy circle dedicated to new leaders for an awakening world. And she's going to tell you all about that in a moment. But let me introduce you to who you're going to be meeting today. Tatiana Speed, one of our favorite musical artists, is going to be with us, and she's one of our core founding members now. And Banah Winn, who you've also seen before as a musical artist, is joined us. Marley Benedicto, who's a very wise woman, and I really am so grateful to have her with us. And you remember from some of our Soul Search TV shows, Ashita is part of our new group. So we're excited about having Ashita with us. And a little bit, and Maggie is here. She just came on. All right. And you all know Maggie from, she's been on the show multiple times. She is also part of our core group of this new Synergy Circle. And she's also going to conclude our evening with a KES group healing. But in addition to the young people, there are some elders that are with us, thank goodness. And one of my absolute favorite human beings, and you all know and love him, it's Steve Bhaerman and his alter ego, Swami Beyondananda. And of course, as always, our beloved Omashar is with us, and he'll be providing a couple of songs. So it's a wonderful group of people. And I'm going to turn it over to my wonderful co-host, the wonderful and really just big-hearted mama bear for the Evolutionary Leaders, Reverend Deborah Moldow. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Scott. It's wonderful to be back here on the Awakening World, and greetings to all of you in the Global Peace Tribe. I just love that name for all of those who tune into this broadcast from week to week, and blessings on you, Scott, for all that you do to bring people together and to showcase their talents and their visions and their joy. So this is very special, this very special program to me tonight, because I've been a director of the Evolutionary Leaders, which is, as you all know, you who are regulars here, you know that's an initiative of the Source of Synergy Foundation, and that it's a community of visionaries. And we've started to think of ourselves as elders because so many of us are of a certain age. And we've been asking ourselves why we're not more in contact with younger leaders. And we realized it's kind of a bit of a different world that the generation behind us and then the generation behind them are living in. Different media, different interests, maybe different views of the future, and that we needed to get to know them better. So we have, in the Evolutionary Leaders, we have 24 thematic synergy circles, which we think of as our action arms, and they're devoted to different things. And a lot of the guests have been on this show. We have the Artists Catalyzing Evolution, the ACE Synergy Circle that Scott's a very active part of. We have Conscious Business, we have Contact and Conscious Evolution, all kinds of interesting topics. But Scott actually had a vision to have a synergy circle for younger leaders in which they could come together with us and share what they're passionate about and what they see as the future that they want to co-create, and how we can support one another with our very different kinds of skills. So I'm very, very excited to introduce some of the younger leaders who are with us this evening. I'm also thrilled to have somebody more in my generation, and that's Steve Bhaerman, also known as Swami Beyondananda, who's one of my favorite people on the planet. And so I'm really looking forward to this show this evening. I also want to give a shout out to some of my friends in San Miguel de Allende who have joined us for the first time tonight. So thank you so much for being here.
Wonderful. And, I just want to remind people that you can learn all about the Evolutionary Leaders Circle by going to evolutionaryleaders.net. And there's a lot happening there. If you haven't gotten it yet, please get the book, Our Moment of Choice. We dedicated an entire show to that book, and it's a wonderful anthology from 43 different evolutionary leaders writing. Some of your favorite people are in that book. And then to learn about the synergy circles that we do, go to where it says activities. And then if you click synergy circles, that's where you'll see all these different synergy circles. And soon, very soon, there's going to be a new one, which is the one that tonight's all about, our next generation of leaders for an awakening world. So definitely scroll around, learn all about the Evolutionary Leaders Network and what they're doing. It's certainly something that I'm really proud to be a part of. And all the people that I've met through the Evolutionary Leaders are amazing human beings. And of course, many of them have been on this show and will continue to be on this show. I also want to say a big hello and welcome to all of you watching on all the different Facebook groups and pages. Thank you to John and Summer Raymer for getting us out to sometimes as many as 200 Facebook groups and pages. Also, welcome to those of you watching on YouTube. Many of you watch us every week on Alan Steinfeld's YouTube channel. Alan, of course, is a member of the Evolutionary Leaders. And also, a lot of you are watching the recording or the replay. So even if you're not with us live, but you're watching the recording, welcome. All of you are welcome at all times. It's Saturday night, and we always have to have great music on Saturday night. And we're blessed with the most wonderful house musical artist, our beloved Omashar, to get us going. Get ready to move and groove, everybody.
Namaste and welcome everybody. And in the interest of this being a multi-generational, not a hand-me-down, but you know, the flow-through of energy of all of us bringing our wisdom to the forefront. We have in the background a nicely AI'd Sphinx and pyramids, and a song called Out of the Blue, which is basically about what happened to our ancestors. Perhaps we are our ancestors. However, we are all working this field of awakening together. So, your socks are on? Good. Yes, indeed. Right there. Come on, little buddy. Whatever happened to the ones that came before? Did they just vanish into the blue? Maybe they're living the dream we know to be true, and reaching their hands back out of the blue. My heart is so ready to embrace all that's new. I feel the love calling for me to break on through. With peace on my mind, I know that I'm coming to a new way of life that feels so true. There's nothing here to hold me back from you. The clouds of my life have blown away. My lightness of being lifts me every day. I find myself feeling not so blue. Heart is so ready to embrace all that's new. I feel the love calling for me to break on through. With peace on my mind, I know that I'm coming to a new way of life that feels so true.
We're here on Gallery View. Big twinkle to our beloved Omashar. If any of you are new, that's what we do. We twinkle our appreciations on this show. That was a rocking way. And hey, a reminder that a wonderful way to support Omashar is to go to his website, and it's his name, omashar.com. And you can see some announcements, learn all about this wonderful man, and most importantly, go to Bandcamp. Bandcamp is where you can find his albums. He has 5 wonderful albums, and let's support him. And each album is terrific. So this is a wonderful way to support this beautiful man that is such an incredibly important part of our ongoing Global Peace Tribe. And he's with us every Wednesday and every Saturday night. So thank you, Omashar. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Yes. looking forward to the rest of the show. Some of my favorite people are right here waiting in the green room, all drinking mate and cacao. We're all good.
Absolutely. Well, here she is. Here is Rev Deb, as I love to call her, to introduce our first new leader for an American world, for an awakening world. Take it away.
I have to first give a big thank you to Omashar. Omashar, you just light up this program week after week. Your music is always so uplifting. It's danceable, but it's also inspiring, and you do such a wonderful job. And I just want to appreciate you.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much. I love you.
So here we are, meeting some fresh faces with wonderful visions and new perspectives to share with us. And we're starting this evening with Marley Benedicto. And I met Marley in a very magical way. I still don't really know how it happened.
It was over music in San Miguel.
Yes. I was here in San Miguel in Mexico for the very first time. I had already decided I was moving here, but I only knew one person in San Miguel, a wonderful artist named Evelyn Puget. And so when I came down, I thought I should go for a week to visit before I move everything I own down here and just make sure that I like it. So I came down for this very short visit. And Evelyn, I came with a friend who plays the guitar. And so Evelyn decided to throw us a little musical evening. And she invited various friends of hers who were musicians. And my friend was very happy to play with all of these different musicians from different countries. And Marley showed up. And I said to Evelyn, "Who's that?" She said, "I'm not sure."
Our friend Zolox had invited me. That's how I wound up there that night.
Okay, I don't know that person.
They are a good person to know.
So that's just what I'm saying, is it was quite magical. And Marley started to sing with us, and she and I took one another's contact information and had tea a few days later and just bonded. And she is a woman of many talents. And what I especially appreciate about her is that she's totally into new ways of living on the planet, about regenerative agriculture and saving the water and living with the land. And she's lived in a number of very sacred places, and she's deeply spiritual. And she also teaches people how to use their voice. You can find out about her at marleybenedicto.com. But I'm so glad that you're going to meet her tonight, because she's just the kind of new generation leader who can give us a different outlook and teach us so many things. And she's also very kind about listening to elders, and actually says she enjoys that. So the thing that I appreciate about Marley. So it's my honor to introduce you to Marley Benedicto.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Deborah. What a beautiful, intimate introduction. And I'm so incredibly grateful to be here tonight with you and with Scott and everybody else. A little bit about Deborah from my unique perspective is she's been an incredible spiritual teacher and also a friend, somebody who has been able to meet me in that multifaceted way of relating to this reality that we've chosen to be in. And Deborah, you continue to be a muse and an inspiration that I can expand into in the most unexpected ways. So thank you for showing up the way that you've shown up in my life as a guide and a teacher. And I'm really grateful to be here on the show with everybody tonight, and especially the elders, because you know, here I am incredibly blessed to be surrounded in an ecosystem of thriving go-getters who are really touching all the acupuncture parts of the world. But we can forget we don't forget, but I don't feel like we acknowledge often enough the stewards and the path blazers that came before us. And for me, San Miguel de Allende is one of my really sacred homes where I get to be in the nourishment of elders who can see me for where I'm at, the elders who have really dreamed the dream for all of us to be where we are today collectively. And while I understand that it's really important to bring the nourishment and the pollination of younger generations, I feel as vigorously about bringing the elders into the communities that I'm working with around the world. So I truly hope that some of my community from on Facebook, where this is streaming live on my page, and that I'll share this video with later, get to tune in and meet the wisdom here. Thank you.
And one of the things that I'm going to ask all of our new leaders to do is to share their vision for an awakened world or an awakening world, and then to share some of what their contribution is, either what they might currently be doing or what their vision is for the future. So Marla, if you'd be willing to get us off to a start with the answer to those questions.
Absolutely. Thanks for asking, Scott. Well, this is definitely a part of my vision for the awakened world is, I would say, right use of technology and aligned communities coming together. Ways that I'm contributing to an awakening world is I really believe in the power of art for culture creation, as well as community development, and being able to integrate a lot of our land-based practices and the indigenous knowledges of animism, really working intimately with Mother Nature, with the animals and the ecosystems, and giving them a voice and giving them a place, giving them a seat at the table as larger decisions are made. And taking all of that indigenous knowledge and merging it into technology and using technology as an interface to be able to accelerate the animism and the kinship that we can grow with Mother Earth. Things that I'm tracking very sincerely are ocean. How are we protecting and preserving our waters all around the world? As a singer, I feel like many of us singers are very naturally drawn and attuned to the waters that move through this planet, and that is where our song and our prayer emerges, is for the waters. I also really deeply believe in the synergies of communities and people working together. So once again, technology is allowing us to all come together right here, right now, the way that we are, to see these ideas and to let a small ripple extend as far as that ripple really wants to, just through engagement, right? We really are in a stage where we're able to have new levels of freedom of expression at the same time that that is greatly polarized. But we see it, and we see it for what it is. And all things that can be healed must have to be revealed first. So here we are in this great awakening, in this enlightening moment where the light is shining so bright, some things are burning to the ground. And it's through this community and this kinship of one another that we can really find our resilience, our strength, and our engagement to get involved in the unique way that each one of us has been primed to. Because your gifts come from all of your life experiences, and they're totally one of a kind. And this is where the power of the voice comes in. I so truly believe in helping people open up their voice, open up their creative expression, and really finding what it is that's unique about that person. Because when you nourish and water that part of yourself, it becomes a one-of-a-kind expression for those around you to also reflect and find their freedoms and their ability and their inspiration to show up and be a part of something that's maybe never been done before. And often the things that have never been done before, I'm sure you know, are the hardest to do. So it's good when we do it together. And one of the ways that this is coming through right now is I am working with Region Intel, the creators of Project Drawdown. Project Drawdown is an 8-year study that went into looking at the poly crisis, which is the interconnected series of problems all around the world. And they studied the problems so that they could actually identify the solutions. And they did that for 8 years. That was a project called Project Drawdown, all about climate and regeneration. Now what they've done is they've turned it into a 15-week online course that is also a professional accelerator to really help educate and activate people across all nodes of interest, whether or not you're into climate or regeneration. There's something for everybody there. And I took that course last year. it dramatically changed my life and really let me take a background in healing arts, performance, and women's empowerment, and take all of that ammunition and move it into a field that can be even more grounded than what it was I was doing before. So this next week on Wednesday, the 21st, I'm going to be hosting a day-long speaker series that I would love you to all come and be a part of. I'll share the link here in the chat, but we're bringing together great speakers like Amanda Joy Ravenhill, Chad Frischman, Lucian Tarnowski, David Block from Gone Gone Beyond and the Human Experience, Sonia Sophia, Alex Kotiek, and myself. And each one of us are leaders of community across the world in different sectors. And what we're going to be doing is inviting people into the communities, inviting them into meeting more people that are really actively engaged and heart-centered. And so I would love for you to come. And that's really how I'm rolling and showing up right now, besides making music and making some beautiful artivism pieces, art for activism.
Beautiful. I want to remind people that you can learn much more about Marley by going to her website. It's easy to remember. It's her name, Marley. M-A-R-L-Y.
Oh, and you know what, Scott, one last thing, because
Sure.
I'm so excited to see what everybody else has to say here. But Miss Maggie, who's coming on next, and I are actually working on an incredible in-person experience. So this is a really incredible opportunity actually to bring together all of the generations. We're going to be living on eco-villages for 8 weeks, learning what happens when we regenerate our body. How are we capable and able to show up to regenerate our communities and our planet? So that's living firsthand with solar energy, hydraulic energy, rain-caught water, food prepared from land grown right in front of us, taking Sacred Vision Quest to Mauna Kea and Waipio Valley, so many fun things like dolphins, and daily reoccurring education with leaders across the fields that I've just spoken about. So we'll share that as well. And I'm super happy to see Maggie here and grateful to be weaving with her in this way.
Well, it's actually kind of perfect because that way we get to introduce Maggie, since the two of you are collaborating. And of course, a lot of our regulars recognize Maggie. She's been on the show many times doing KES group healing, which she's going to bless us with at the end of the show tonight. But this time we get to hear Maggie speak, and we get to hear more about Maggie, who is such a powerful leader. I've known Maggie now, I think, for 3 or 4 years. And Maggie's one of those people that, well, really similar to you, Rev Deb and Marley. Everything she does with love and joy. She's one of the most joyful human beings I've ever met. And I know a lot of people. So I really appreciate just the tremendous love and joy you do, whether it's social media, making videos, taking photographs, being supportive. She's, one of those humble people, like whatever needs to be done, she does it. Always out of a deep dedication of service. And isn't that the quality of the kind of leaders we want in the world? Leaders that are humble and see what needs to be done. They do what needs to be done, and they do it with love and not with, see what I'm doing. And Maggie, you really embody that beautifully. So welcome back to the awakening world. And please share with us your vision for an awakening world and a little bit about what you are doing or plan to do.
Thank you so much, Scott. That was really, really beautiful and touched my heart, and just so grateful to be here and to have you a part of my community. And I would say what I see the most that humanity is ready to step into is being a part of a bigger community and really creating these communities. And of course, I love to keep things light and joyful, but there are definitely very real agendas that are trying to play out. And so when I see certain things happening, I am reminded by my higher guidance, and a part of my dharmic contract is to help bring in these new earth communities. And so that is what Marley mentioned back right when COVID started. Before COVID, I moved to Hawaii, and I didn't have a full plan. I just read the book Re-inhabiting the Village, and I knew I had to get on a community. I was like, this book is the Bible. And so when I saw that book, I was like, all I could think about was eco villages, regeneration, living on a land that you don't have to drive so much, living on a land where there's elders and children, and we're not in these boxes where, you know, America, I think, has one of the highest rates of depression and people on antidepressants. And I really believe a big part of that is because we are in the society that is so separate. You know, like the elders need each other, the children need each other, the young parents need each other. And it's really, I think we're being asked to go kind of back in time of how we lived in tribes and villages, and we had our tribe around, yet in a futuristic way that is sustainable. And so that is why we are in February and March, we will be taking a group to Hawaii and staying on a regenerative land. And I can speak from experience. When I lived in Hawaii, it changed my life. And I have fully dedicated my life to regeneration projects and building out sanctuaries in different ways. And so I'm currently working on a project in Ashland, Oregon right now that is going to be really centered towards a Sattvic community lifestyle and building out different gardens. And I think another really important way, which Marley mentioned before, is integrating AI in an organic way. And I just had a beautiful conversation with my neighbor, and somebody asked her, what do you think we're gonna do when AI and all this technology takes over all these jobs? And she said, we as a community need to choose that we are going to stay organic and work with people, go to restaurants where there's people cooking and not AI. And so I think as we step deeper into AI, it's beautiful how it can help us, and it's the beginning. And so we do have to stay true to making sure that people have purpose, because if people don't have purpose, that's when they can psychologically go in a downward spiral. And so I also, lastly, I think very important to have the spiritual education in the communities and have a very core around peace sanctuaries, meditation, and Gnostic teachings, you know? So, yeah.
Tell us more about, and I'll bring Marley back up. Tell us more about what the two of you are doing and how we can support you.
Well, thank you so much, Scott. Yeah, we will be going to Big Island in February, and the intention is to really get a beautiful group of people together to get a glimpse into the future. And so if you want to explain that a little deeper, Marley, I'll hand it over to you.
Oh, I love hearing you talk, Maggie. Thank you. I think I think everything that Maggie just shared actually is truly why, you know, between what I said and what she said. And we are living in a time where so many people are in isolation, and part of that is due to technology. And isolation is a driving factor for sickness and disease. And when you come together with others, you really have the opportunity to reflect yourself, to grow in that experience, and to learn how to harmonize. And especially as one of the reasons we are working to bring in healers, systems designers, and artists, as well, of course, the mothers and the children and the elders, right, for balance and harmony, is because we can't expect to be able to create peace on earth if we can't create an inner peace. And that inner peace is done through the association with other in our immediate field. One of my favorite quotes, funny enough, is by the actor Mr. Rogers. And in his movie, which made me cry, watch his documentary, Mr. Rogers, he said, if people did for their neighbor what they wanted to do for the world would be a different place. And That's so true. And I'm so grateful to have been neighbors with Maggie, both in Hawaii and here in Ashland, Oregon, and to see how we both really show up with a true intention to be there for our community the way that we hope to be there for the world. And so it'll be a lot of education. We're bringing in leaders across different cohorts to steward a week at a time. So there will be a lot of futurism, as a lot of bringing the Hawaiian elders, the kumus, the priest, and actually going back to the practices of how they are in reciprocity with the aina, with the land, and trying to merge these two, of course, with many wellness facilitators on site and somatic artistic expressions. So we're staying in the body because so many of these incubators get really mental, and it's fun to be up here, but this is where all the work is done.
Wow. How do people reach you? What's the best way for people to contact you if they're interested in being part of what you're doing?
That is a great question. Well, people who register for Wednesday's masterclass are going to get an exclusive first opportunity to sign up because we're really bringing this to aligned community before we go public. So the best way to get a VIP invitation is come to Wednesday's masterclass and meet some of the incredible people that we're hoping to bring in together for this 8-week gathering. And the other way you can do it is you can go to my website, you can go to Maggie's website, marleybenedicto.com. And Maggie, what is your website?
MaggieRoseAlchemy.com.
And just hit that contact button and be like, hey, I saw you on that amazing show with Scott and Deborah. I want to come to Hawaii, and we'll just talk.
Beautiful. Go ahead, Maggie.
It's just we're curating a really intentional group, and so I'm that's also going to bring the magic, to bring these innovators, bring these artists, bring people from all walks of life, and then watch what gets created. Because it's so beautiful when we go to festivals and different gatherings, but sometimes not a lot of action is taken after that. And so the point of an incubator like this is for action and aligned action to help local community and then think global, bigger scale.
And is there an age range of people that you're inviting?
All age range.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Bring the kids, bring the grandparents. This is very inclusive in that sense.
Okay,
Because
beautiful.
that's also how we grow, right? The other thing about these short, quick flashes of festivals and conferences is it's really easy to show up in your shiny bright for 5 days, but who are you 2 weeks in? And that's where we create community. That's where we create transformation.
All right. So I'm going to go over those websites again slowly for all of our people watching on Facebook or YouTube. For the Wednesday event, go to www or HTTPS, the actual URL though is lu.ma/6 OTI 9 M6K. A little bit hard to remember. But what you can do is come into the Zoom room, and that's where we always put these things, and it's a lot easier to find it. You probably could Google Heart Heal Earth, and probably would be able to find it that way as well. And that's what's happening this Wednesday, August 21st, 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. Is that Pacific time? 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And some wonderful people who are going to be there. David Block is actually someone I know quite well. Sonia Sophia has been on this show. Lucian Tarnowski has been on this show. And so it's going to be a beautiful event. I'll try and tune into that. So definitely that's what's happening on Wednesday. And then you're going to get a wonderful experience of Maggie's healing abilities. But I want to take us to her website right now. And to learn more about Maggie and to perhaps even experience her, go to MaggieRoseAlchemy.com. Maggie, M-A-G-G-I-E, RoseAlchemy.com. She is an extraordinary energy healer. You're all going to experience that a little bit later on this evening. And she truly does bridge the spiritual and natural world. So this is where you can learn all about our Maggie. Any final thoughts that either of you would like to share?
Thank you so much. Really good to connect with the community here.
Mhm.
I
Right.
love that last thing that Marley said about community leading to transformation. Because isn't that what the Global Peace Tribe is all about? As well as the evolutionary leaders, of course.
Yeah, both of you are so wonderful. You make a wonderful team. And I'm so grateful that you are two of our core founding members for this new Synergy Circle.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. So grateful.
Our pleasure. To introduce our next leader, here's a video that she created, and many of you are going to begin to recognize her. She's one of our favorite musical artists, and of course, I'm talking about Tatiana Speed. But here's a video that she created, which I had all queued up to play, and it's being a little ornery, so we're going to try that again. Sometimes you have to do it twice. Let's do that again. Here we go. Here we go. We rehearsed it and everything. Come on, baby. There we go.
For too long, too many people have been left homeless. For too long, we haven't seen enough progress. For too long, exiled, displaced, and alienated, people walk this earth devastated. For too long, we've lived in separation, forgotten our true nation, this earth, the home to all future generations. Cut off from life, cut off from each other, we've forgotten nature, our only mother. This disconnect is our deepest wound. Towards wholeness, we must reattune. Whole life, whole person, whole systems, all cultures, one planet. If you feel this truth, let's stand for it. Let's reclaim home as the destination. Choose inclusion over separation. And build a refuge, a sanctuary, a place of healing that nurtures and supports all beings. Let's build home right where we are. Let's build a home for all of us. Let's build a home for humanity. Let's build a home that nurtures all of life. It starts within, it starts with me, it starts with you. Can we turn to ourselves and see ourselves anew? What do we love? What do we cherish? For what do we stand on this beautiful planet, this sacred land? It starts with community, creation, culture. Can we build together, my sister, my brother? It starts right here, right now. Put the seeds in the ground until life springs up all around. We can walk through our garden, this home that we make. Together we change humanity's fate. And from the local to the global, from the I to the we, from the north to the south, from the west to the east, all cultures, all borders, all peoples, all life, we can come together and ignite a home for all to which all belong. This is the prayer, this is the song. Let's build home right where we are. Let's build a home for all of us. Let's build a home for humanity. Let's build a home that nurtures all of life. One world, one home, one heart, one life. All people, all cultures now. One world, one home, one heart, one life. All people, all cultures now. Let's go home. We are going home.
Let's build a home right we are.
Let's go
Let's build a home for all of us.
Let's build a
We
home
are
for humanity. Let's build a home that nurtures all of life.
Dakiepi. This is our Mother Earth for all living beings.
From the power with to the power to, we can change and create something new. Hold the vision, hold the mission, hold the line. We are birthing a new paradigm. Homecoming, we are all becoming who we need to be to hold off this catastrophe. Down on our knees with prayers for peace for this indivisible family. Around the world, feel the hearts opening. Around the world, feel the hands extending. Around the world, feel this movement coming. All cultures, all peoples, one planet, one home.
You can
Hmm.
pause it there, Scott. It just goes on for a while and then it's, yeah.
Well, how amazing. Wow. I had never seen that video before,
You
Tatiana.
hadn't? Oh, wow. I know
And
I've showed that song here, but maybe you never saw the
I never
actual.
saw the video, no. And Rev Deb, did you see all of our evolutionary leaders?
I know, it was chock full of friends from around the world and
It was.
beautifully put together, Tatiana. Really, such an uplifting piece. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
we haven't heard from our audience yet, and there's so many comments coming in. So I'm going to read some of what our Global Peace Drivers have to say in the Zoom room. Don Drake writes, "What a powerful message." Eleanor Joy writes, "Absolutely fabulous." Morgine writes, "I'm crying at the beauty of this song and video. I wish I could play it for all of my friends. I want the link." So we'll put that in there. Uh, Marley writes, "Wow, so heart-opening, strong words and beautiful, and beauty." Grace Denise writes, "What a wonderful song and video." Dorina Joy, coming from Ecuador, writes, "Another master heart gem. Tatiana, you are so inspiring, beautiful, and needed now more than ever. Thank you deeply from all of us." But there's more coming in. Morgan wants to know if it's on YouTube so we can share. It is, so we'll put that link on. Ayada writes, "Tatiana, your music always brings me to tears. I love this video and all of your music." And even, well, not even, but our beloved Omashar writes, "Amazing video, Tatiana. Phenomenal and so uplifting." And more still coming in.
Yeah, that video was so amazing to make because it was truly weaving the world together. And I worked with it with the organization Home for Humanity, and they have homes all around the world. And so we did this project of bringing in their voices, all around the world. People sent videos to me, and it's like, this is my vision of the awakening world, or of this new paradigm, is what I tried to create in this song. Basically, is all of us connected, all of us collaborating, creating beauty, creating art, honoring our different cultures, where we come from, and yeah, coming together in harmony, coming together in song. I feel song has such a beautiful, way of just showcasing how we can live and co-create together in such a beautiful way. So yeah, really sweet to share this video with all of you. And I've been so inspired listening to you, Maggie, and listening to you, Marley, like just light bulbs going off inside of me, hearing about what you guys are doing and the communities that you're creating. And when you said you're going to Hawaii, I've been like feeling this calling to Hawaii for years. And when you said that, I was like, I'm coming. I will be
Yes,
don't know if I'm invited, but
you are.
Wow, the first in-person meeting of the Synergy Circle.
Yes, please.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, just so inspired by all of you here and all that's being co-created. And I feel like my kind of offering is really, bringing people together through music. I do that through my women's circles. I lead women's circles where I have women singing together, expressing their voices, clearing the blocks to their own authentic expression and their fears around taking up space, being heard, being seen, being visible. And also through kirtan and just the power of us singing together, and the power of sound as the, the primary vibration of this universe. And then I also create really healing transmissions through music. I'm emerging still from like a 7-year kind of health crisis that, you know, was all perfect and just took me on this journey into the body. And I realized that I had been practicing spirituality and kind of using it almost as a way to check out of myself, as a way to manage trauma by leaving. And the health journey really, it just like brought me to earth and has been teaching me how to be a human being and how to really attune to the wisdom of the body and honor the wisdom of the body and see these bodies as temples of our soul, and as the place where heaven and earth come together is in this beautiful vessel of our body, this instrument of our spirit on earth. And so I feel very called to supporting all beings, but especially women, on this return to their body temple, and healing the division that's there, and yeah, the absolute joy and beauty and power and wisdom and intuition and magic that's accessible when we start to come home to ourselves. And so I've been studying a lot of somatic therapy and kind of like bridging somatic therapy with also the very refined, like more rarefied spiritual practices. And I'm so, like, I feel like this is so much my own journey still. I'm still in this unfolding journey of figuring out how to be a person on the planet. And I feel like maybe that's the case for many light workers, where we come in so sensitive, so finely tuned, so like perceiving so much, and it can be like too much, and it can cause us to want to check out and not know the sacred technology of our bodies. So I am currently creating an album. It's called Lullabies for Adults, and it's a really soft, it's a very different vibe than the song I just shared with you. It's a very, very soft, gentle invitation into the body, into the somatic wisdom of the body, and into coming home to ourselves. And when I feel into my vision for the new paradigm, it's really this like this wholeness, this sense of right relationship with ourselves, right relationship with each other, this forgiveness and love to ourselves, forgiveness and love for each other. And like, what kind of a world could we co-create from there for the earth? So I was thinking, Scott, that I could maybe share a little snippet from my upcoming album. Nobody has heard this yet, and it's not properly mixed, and my voice isn't perfect yet, and nothing's perfect yet at all, but I thought it could be really special just to give you guys
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay. Unheard footage from my living room. Okay, how do I say share? So I'll just tell you a little bit about the song. The song is called May Love Carry Us Home. It's coming towards the end of the album. The album really goes through this journey into the body and into feeling safe in our bodies and on the planet. And then from there, the songs start to invite us into like a deep sense of like self-love, self-forgiveness, and that same level of love and forgiveness for each other. So this song is called May Love Carry Us Home. So I'll just play a couple minutes of it, and here we go. Can you hear it okay?
Yes.
I turn towards myself with a rose of forgiveness and a lily of mercy and gentleness. I turn towards my heart as the altar of redemption. Please remind me how to love. Remind me why I came. All these years, all of the ages, struggling so hard to find my way. All these years, all of the this time I've been held in love's embrace. Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya. Let love carry me home. Let love carry me home. Let love carry me. Let love carry me home. I turn towards you with a rose of forgiveness and a lily of mercy and understanding. I turn towards your heart as the altar of our love. I'm so sorry for missing you so completely. All these years, all of these ages, struggling, fighting, and forgetting. All these years, all of the ages, and all of this time, we've been held in love's embrace. Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya Shivaya. Let love carry us home. Let love carry us home. Let love carry us. Let love carry us home. Let love carry us home. Let love carry us home. Let love carry us. Let love carry us home. We are so much more than we ever knew. I see it so clearly, I see you. We are so much more than we ever knew. I open my heart to the truth. We are so much more than we ever knew. I see it so clearly, I see you. We are so much more than we ever knew. I open my heart to the truth.
Wow.
Thank you for receiving this first draft.
I'm going to read
Wow.
some of the comments and then
Wow.
I'll wrap it up to share. Pam writes, Tatiana, the song is so beautiful. It carries my soul straight to the stars and parks me there to rest a while. You are amazing. Amushar writes, how blessed we are, dear Tatiana, for this sublime song. Thank you. Carol Craig, weeping with emotion. Don Drake, let love carry us home. Marley writes, wow, pure melty bliss goodness. More, more, more. Susan Woolridge writes, Tatiana, I want to hear this song over and over and over with the rose of forgiveness. And more comments coming in. Wow, your voice is so healing. Such a special gift. And, you know, one other, Tatiana does do somatic work. And Pam writes, I had the pleasure of working with Tatiana, who did a somatic session with me. She's not only a gifted musician, but also a wise and gifted healer. And Dia adds to that, yes, Tatiana, always and always, you speak and sing wisdom, for beyond your youthful years, you sing to my heart. And there are are 6 more comments that have come in that I don't have time to read.
This is what I love about our new generation leaders, is that they are all multidimensional and have many talents and passions to offer the world. And Tatiana, you are just overflowing with gifts, and we are so honored to receive them.
Oh, I'm so touched to be here with all of you so much. And it's so special to share this song into this group first, really, because Scott, you were the very first. I did 7 years of pretty much complete solitude, and so Scott was the very first person to sort of invite me out into the world, and I'm really like emerging now, and but this was the first place I really came forward in, so it's forever very special to my heart.
Well, we love you very much. And I want to encourage everyone. This album of hers, Lullabies for Adults, I've been blessed to hear much of it. It's incredible. And if you go to her website, which is her name, TatianaSpeed.com, pre-order her new album. I mean, we just got a little taste of it. And I've heard many of these songs. They are so relaxing, so gentle. And it is important for us to support our musical artists. So go to TatianaSpeed.com and pre-order her album, Lullabies for Adults. That's a wonderful way that we
I'm going to be touring in October. I'm driving across Canada, and then from there, I'm going looking for communities, Maggie and Marley. I'm I've got a van, and I'm going to be hitting the road and taking this anywhere I'm invited, really. But I'm starting first by driving from I'll be driving from the West Coast to the East Coast of Canada, and then I want to go where I'm called, kind of. I'm totally uprooting myself from the West Coast right now.
Marley
So
has
let's-
just invited you to Ashland.
Amazing.
Yeah, and I can arrange for you to play in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay, amazing.
Definitely. We'll have you at the Sunrise Center. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So Ashland, Sunrise Center, Los Angeles, where, that's a nice little coastal route. Maybe you'll make your way all the way down to San Miguel de Allende.
Yeah.
That's what Linda O'Neill just posted that to me. I said, send that to everybody. We want her down here.
Oh, Tatiana, thank you so much. We love you so much. Rev Deb, what's exciting is that our core group of Synergy Circle new leaders is actually truly a global group. Now, several of them were not able to join us. Shanali from Southeast Asia is part of our group. And you're going to introduce the next 2 gentlemen that they're in Europe. They're coming to us from Germany and the Netherlands. So they're sleeping right now. So I did a pre-recorded video with them yesterday. But do you want to introduce our audience a little bit to Simon and Dominique?
Well, I can't wait to hear your interview with them because they are such bright lights. So we met these 2 young men when the Source of Synergy Foundation has been looking at refreshing our website. And one of our evolutionary leaders, Mason Ewald, who has been working to carry on Terry Patton's work with New Republic of the Heart, and he's also been working with the Holo movement. He recommended these 2 young men, and what they did, I thought, was quite extraordinary. They went to the 2 websites at sourceofsynergyfoundation.org and evolutionaryleaders.net, and they studied them. And when we had our first Zoom call with Simon and Dominic, they were telling us all about us and what they thought should be highlighted on the site, and what kind of newer looking graphics would help us, etc. And they had a wonderful design sense, but we didn't really know anything about them. And as we move forward, both with that project and meeting them on these calls for the New Generation Synergy Circle, we learn that they are both deeply engaged in their spiritual paths, but they're also meeting with groups of young people in different parts of Europe. And that really excited us. They said that there are so many young people who are thirsty for purpose and for new ways of looking at the world. So I'm delighted that they're part of this initiative, and I can't wait to listen to your interview with them.
All right. Well, here we go. So here we are with two of our new leaders coming to us from Europe. These are both new people in my world, but I've really enjoyed getting to know them. And now I get to introduce you to our Global Peace Tribe audience, where by now we've met some of the other new generation leaders. So we'll start with Simon, who's in the Netherlands. Simon, what's your vision for an awakening world?
Thanks, Scott, for the introduction. And my vision for an awakening world is a place where we can all come together and just be ourselves authentically, where we don't have to be pretending to be someone that we are not, and that we can, as a community, create an environment in which we can find ourselves in the first place. Because oftentimes we come into this world and have many ideas about what we are, what we should be, societal norms. And I think it's just amazing if, or for me, my vision for an awakening world is a world where we can all find out who we are truly, ourselves, and that the school system or the educational system is designed for finding ourselves, that the medical system is really designed to find ourselves. Because for me, for example, sickness is just like losing parts of ourselves, and then trying to reintegrate them would be a great place to start healing. And it's for me what healing is about. So I think it's just about a place where we can all mutually find ourselves, and what this entire thing of physical life is about.
It's beautiful. Yes. That is a good vision for an awakening world. And Dominic, who's coming to us from Germany, what would you like to add or riff on for your vision for an awakening world?
Yeah, thank you, Scott, for having me as well. Yeah, I mean, Simon, thank you for what you already shared. I totally agree with what you said. And also for me, it's really important that our society is structured in a way that there's really an openness for the individuals to discover the nature of their own existence, and really get into depth of why we're here, who we are, and that there is a certain freedom that we can actually discover our purpose, not just when we're really old and we have enough money or enough resources that we can actually pursue these endeavors or these questions, but actually when we're young, and we have a lot of years to come where we can actually transform society or certain systems that are still stuck, but they're old systems are disappearing and new ones are coming online. And as you said, Simon, for me, my passion also lies in the education system, because I think a lot starts with education or re-education in a certain way. From my point of view, there should be a focus also on the inner development, and especially also on the spiritual aspect of our being, so that's not just one-sided materialistic education, but also a sort of holistic education that also incorporates healing. It also incorporates our waking up process, and different spiritual traditions, but also different methods that people can explore for themselves, and then choose a path that they feel that they're resonating with, and that is part of their purpose. And I want to help with that. So that's why I'm really involved in different spiritual organizations that want to bring this or manifest this actually here. for me, this is part of the new earth, and I'm very passionate about that. So yeah.
Beautiful, guys. Thank you. And that's why I'm so glad that you're part of this core group of our new synergy circle. Last question, for now, and our audience will get to know you over the years, hopefully. But what's one thing that each of you either are doing or want to do to create your vision for an awakening world? And the game that we play is, as you share it, our whole audience is holding that vision for you. Because we believe strongly in holding vision, that the more that we speak our vision and the more that we all hold it together and bless it, it helps it to come into reality. So I'd love for each of you to share one piece of what you're either currently doing or wanting to do that we can all hold the vision for. And we'll go back to you first, Simon.
Right, thank you, Scott. Yeah, for me, it's just that I have a huge passion as an entrepreneur to create spaces where all of this inner development can be facilitated. In the past, it was through online platforms. For example, a platform called Relight, which is a search engine for spiritual places where spiritual people can come together and find their places where they can be held in a space of growth. And now I'm looking for or transitioning my work from the internet or from the online world to the offline world, because I really have a passion for architecture, so I want to create these spaces, these containers where people can do this growth, and where this growth is facilitated not only online but also offline. And yeah, I'm currently just diving into architectural things. I'm just exploring architectural styles, how to build temples, like real world modern day temples where these things can be facilitated. I recently, or just like a month ago, applied for studying architecture in Germany. It got rejected because my vision seemed to be a bit too futuristic. But now I'm just looking for ways to yeah, build temples in the physical for facilitating growth spiritually and on every level of our being.
All right, well, let's all hold the vision that sometime in the not too distant future, Simon has built the most extraordinary new paradigm temple, physical structure, where people that met through the online gathering have come together and are communing and appreciating this beautiful work of art as they appreciate the works of art that each of them are as individuals. How's that?
That was amazing, Scott. Thanks.
Oh, and Dominique, what vision can we hold for you?
Yeah, as I said, I'm really passionate about helping to transform the educational system, and this is why I find myself at the intersection point between being a spiritual apprentice of a Native American shaman on the one hand, diving into the mystical, taking part of retreats and different courses that are outside of the traditional system, but on the other side also being in the education system, going the academic route as well, to help shift something. So this is why I align with universities that are at the cutting edge and that are transforming, that are already alternative within the existing educational system, like Alanos University, where I helped initiate a new institute, the Institute for Conscious Education and Social Transformation in Germany, where we're certifying all these wonderful people who are doing the retreats and the courses that are not yet part of the academic system. So I see myself a little bit as a bridge there in a certain way. But the bigger version certainly would be a full-fledged spiritual university, which is holistic, which also incorporates the physical, but not just the physical, also the multidimensional. And I think this is something that I'm working towards. This is why I connect with Ubiquity University and with Interstellar University. I do a lot of work for them as well. And this is also why I'm at the board of the Association for Spiritual Integrity, because I think that these practices should be held with integrity. We cannot go back to the old paradigm of religion, but there should be a new way of spirituality, without, you know, institutionalizing it like religion did before. There should be a new way of how an institution can be positioned in a way, but it's not standing in between you and, you know, your some people call it their higher selves, or their connection to God, to the absolute, you know, to the nature of their own existence. There shouldn't be an institution between that, you know, that is facilitating the connection, but more something that is, you know, holding a space, you know, so people can pursue that on their own, with people, with teachers that can guide them towards that. Yeah, I'm really much on my way doing this. It's a long way. I have a lot to learn. I'm stumbling a lot as well, but yeah, that's what I want, what I wish for the world, actually.
So we're going to hold that vision for you too, both as you as student having the perfect teachers, but also you as the bridge builder, and playing your perfect divine role in building these bridges between institutions and individuals, between indigenous wisdom and more traditional academic. We're a big fan of Jim Garrison and Ubiquity University. He's been on the show, of course. Yeah, and anyway, gentlemen, it's great to connect with both of you, and thank you for sharing a little bit with our Global Peace Tribe audience. And I'm going to end the recording now, but stay on because we'll chat for a moment.
Oh my. It just divine. I love seeing the new masculine come in through men like Simon and Dominic and Omashar and you, Scott, and so many of the guests that you've had on this show. It's healing. So I've put 2 links in the chat, one to what Simon spoke about, Relight, where he was putting, yes, scroll down to the places because it's lovely to see that.
Let me accept the cookies. There we go.
Sure.
Oh,
I
and
just
somebody
love that he wanted to do that, to direct us to where all of these spiritual centers are. And I see a lot of them are in California.
and honestly, I've been to Green Gulch, Zen Center, SRF Hollywood, Esalen Institute, Mount Baldy. I've been to most of these places.
Yeah, I was expecting more of them to be in Europe, but I guess California is still a nexus of spiritual centers. And then I also put Dominic's website and his about. He's just such a bright light. So I love these directions that they're moving in. Again, they are so multi-talented. We met them because they build websites, but Simon is going into architecture and Dominic into education. And it's just inspiring. What can I say?
And global, the Netherlands, Germany, Latin America. So it's really, you know, we are the Global Peace Tribe, and we definitely want for this new synergy circle to be made up of young leaders from all cultures, from all races, from multiple countries. We'll definitely have to talk to Pato and Antoinette and see who they can refer from their African travels. And I know you have somebody that you were sharing with me just before we went on air, Peter, who's in Europe, with some young people in Europe.
Yes, the Hague Center has, based in the Netherlands, has young people that have been engaged in their programs with them. So I'm looking forward to meeting the people that they want to send to us. And I also want to mention, just from a glance at the chat, that Tatiana has been invited to practically every place imaginable that our Zoom audience could think to offer. So she's going to have quite a journey. And thank you, everybody, for opening your hearts and your homes to Tatiana. I know that's going to be a magical journey.
Yeah, it's very, very, very beautiful to see all the comments coming in and all the support for our beloved Tatiana. And speaking of beloved, you get to introduce someone that I know is very precious to you.
Oh my God. Is everybody ready for a break? I asked Scott to put this image on the screen because this was my introduction to the delightful Steve Bhaerman in his alter ego as Swami Beyondananda, this book, Driving Your Own Car. Oh, do put it up again.
Okay, I'll do it again.
This book, Driving Your Own Karma.
Oh.
This came out, I believe, in 1989. And I was so impressed that somebody could be this witty and this wise at the same time. And later on, Steve co-wrote a book with Dr. Bruce Lipton, who was one of our original members of the Evolutionary Leaders. And that was the biology of belief, right? Yeah. And
spontaneous evolution.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bruce is the biology.
He wrote that by himself. I did not know.
He did that by himself. You came in to make it more spontaneous. Spontaneous evolution. And we were so thrilled to bring Steve into the Evolutionary Leaders. I just want him on every program he's on with me because I love everything that he has to say, including the very serious work that he's been engaged in lately. But here he is as the one and only Swami Beyondananda.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Scott, for inviting me on an Awakening World, because that is our choice right now. Either we will have an awakening or we'll have a wake, if you know what I mean. And of course, the synergy circles, that's perfect. There's no sin in synergy, and there's no harm in harmony. Now, I like the multi-generational approach of this whole thing. I'm happy to be part of the multi-generational regeneration generation so that together we can reverse the degeneration. Now, you know, being a Swami, I get a lot of metaphysical questions, and I never met a physical question I didn't like. But recently somebody asked me, Swami, can you help me communicate with a loved one on the other side? I said, sure. Which side, Democrat or Republican? Now, I know this is an international audience, but the polarization seems to be very pervasive in our country. The body politic already has many issues. We suffer from irony deficiency, truth decay, erectile dysfunction, and now bipolar insanity. Yes, partisan activists are springing into action. No more passively rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. No, sir. We are now actively throwing the deck chairs at one another. A step in the right direction. Now, fortunately, there is another side of the story. And maybe the whole idea of sides needs to be thrown over the side. Because I say there are no sides, only angles. And when we see things from the right angle, we are all on the same side. Now, when it comes to politics and other divisive ideas, we have been of two minds, and now we have to be of one heart. Instead of the old tug of war, we're all pulling together, that's pulling us apart. We're pulling in different directions. We need to have a tug of peace where we all pull together in the same direction. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Swami, you're proposing a sane world. You must be crazy. Well, maybe it is time for us to all go sane together by committing ourselves to a sane asylum and cultivating a sane and sacred center in our own lives and in the world. To address problems like climate change, we must begin with political climate change, warmer hearts and cooler heads. The time for revolutionary uprising is over, because revolutions just keep us revolving on the same hamster wheel of misfortune, the unmerry-go-round, right? A death spiral for our species. We need an evolutionary upwising where we humans wise to the occasion and step off of the lose-lose battlefield and onto the win-win playing field. And that's why I am calling for a shift from the fear-based state of emergency to a love-based state of emergency, where we emerge from the illusion of separation and see that we are all in this together. I call it the great upwising. Now, somebody earlier mentioned visions and telling a vision. Well, if you don't like the current programming, turn off your TV, turn off the social media, and tell a vision instead. I will tell you my vision. I call it the great upwising, and I offer a simple 4-step program, mathematically guaranteed to work 3 times faster than 12-step. And this is 4 simple steps. Wake up, wise up, grow up, and show up. First, we have to wake up to the illusion of separation. See, we have been hoodwinked by a bunch of winking hoods. Our commonwealth has been hijacked by a very small percentage of the uncommonly wealthy. So now it's time for we, the people, all of us together, to hijack it and to turn divide and rule into unite and thrive. That's wake up. We have to wise up to the power of loving coherence, where we are all one with the same one. The universe has us surrounded. Might as well surrender. Might as well surrender to the power of love. That is our choice every moment. Do we feed love or do we feed fear? I've got good news. Love is more powerful than fear. Otherwise, we'd be singing, all you need is fear. Good, we're not singing that. Okay, now, stop worrying about the deep state and cultivate a deeper state. A deeper state. And that is how we will make Goliath down. The only way to overgrow Big Brother is by bigger brotherhood and sisterhood and all forms of loving one anotherhood and loving all of the others in the hood. Okay, we have to grow up from children of God to adults of good. We have been stuck in that very awkward stage called adolescence, where our essence has been addled by toxic belief systems, BS for short. We have to remember, truth lives in your heart and beliefs lie in your head. So if you want to stop all of that lying in your head, listen to your heart, because the more we expand our hearts, the less we'll need to shrink our heads, right? Okay, now, I want you to show up. That's the 4th step. Show up on a new playing field where we gather all good intentions under one big intent. Intentional mutual benefit. That's where we wise up about the identity issues that divide us and focus on the identical issues that unite us. Clean air, clean water, clean food, and clean government. Everybody who's been cultivating inner peace all these years, now is a time to let it out and declare all-out peace. To all of the warring tribes on the planet, I have this message. A pax on all of your houses. Thank you very much. This is Swami Beyondananda. Namaste and namasko. Goodbye. I'm going to change. Can I change it to somebody else now? Is it
Yes.
change? Okay.
Thank you, Swami.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, and we're looking forward to welcoming Steve Bhaerman. But meanwhile, let us all give our twinkles to Swami Beyondananda.
Big twinkling, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely amazing.
Oh,
Okay. Here I am. I'm sorry. I always miss the Swami for some reason. But seriously, folks, I appreciate the introduction, Deborah. And I have a serious mission that's related to comedy. And I've been doing this for many, many years. And one of the things that I think is very important right now, particularly with this polarization, and that's being kind of geared up and ginned up by our anti-social media, and that is to use comedy to bring people together. Not to pretend that we don't have any differences, but to celebrate those differences in a playful and loving way and begin to laugh at ourselves. Because when we laugh at ourselves, as the Swami says, laugh at yourselves, the whole world will laugh at you too. So when we laugh at ourselves, we give people an invitation to be defenseless. And there's a lot of humor that's been happening over the past, I don't know, in my lifetime, the last 50 years, let's say, that's been much more mean. It's been much more polarizing. It's been much more designed to insult other people rather than bring out the humanity in each of us. So my mission in the upcoming Love and Laughter tour that's going to begin right where I am in Northern California, and I think we can put that, doing a show at the San Geronimo Community Center, September 21st, and that's the launch of my West Coast tour, and then more touring around the country next year, called the Love and Laughter Tour, and that is designed to bring people together above and beyond their differences, political differences, religious differences, and to laugh together. Victor Borge, one of my great heroes as a kid, he said that laughter is the shortest distance between two people. And I'm betting that that's true. I've done, last year I've done shows where literally people from all sides, all political sides came together, and somebody wrote me an email about it and said it was so great to see friends that they knew who are Donald Trump supporters and those who are progressives all laughing together at the same joke. So I think that that's what we need to do. We need to come together at the heart, and there's no better way than hearty laughter. So I'm sharing that mission, and I'm doing coaching as well, cosmic comedy coaching. And I want to work with people who have a mission to be change makers, who have a mission to be community organizers, who have a mission to bring people together, because I have a feeling that the 4 steps of cosmic comic consciousness, it's a joke, laugh, lovingly laugh at your own face, in your own face, find a joke hidden in the picture, and commit random acts of comedy. I believe that that is a pathway to bring people together, and then once we're together, to have us collaborate for intentional mutual benefit. And if I have another minute here, I want to acknowledge another member of the ELC, Richard Flyer. And Richard was the founder of something called the Conscious Community Network in Reno, Nevada in the mid-2000s. And he is writing a book, and I'm helping him, this is my serious project now, write a book that I think is an heir to the to spontaneous evolution. It's the next step, because Richard's work in Reno, based on the work of Dr. Aryaratne in Sri Lanka, through the Sarvodaya Project, is designed to bring people together in symbiotic networks that connect the good in a community and spread intentional mutual benefit. If you go to Richard Flyer, that's Flyer on Substack, you can read the book in installments. So part of my mission right now, that's both serious and humorous, is to bring those people who want to make change in the world and help them use humor, first of all, to give themselves perspective and equanimity, and allowing them to be a space holder for people with radically different beliefs. Because what's required right now is not just relating to the members of our own tribe, but radical inclusivity, where we include people we don't agree with. It's really very important to be able to do that. I say humorize, humanize, and harmonize.
Beautiful.
Beautiful, Steve. And I'd also like to point out that your date at the San Geronimo Valley Community Center,
yes,
is September 21st, which is the UN International Day of Peace.
Exactly. And I'm actually participating in that. I'm going to go to San Francisco earlier in the day.
Oh,
to be
perfect.
part of the bigger program. And then San Geronimo Valley Community Center They've done this, the 10th annual Peace Fest. So they're right on board with that. And so the show is Beyondananda and Beyond, inner peace, sharing that with people outside through the power of laughter. So we need it more than ever right now because we need to be reheartened. We need reheartening in the heartland. And nothing does that like hearty laughter. Takes us out of our head, puts us into our heart.
You are a genius, and we love you. And
And
everybody is welcome on September 21st, whatever you're doing.
Exactly. Everybody's welcome.
Unite for Peace, which is a global campaign that this program will be part of as well. So thank you so much, Steve. And thank you for bringing Swami with you tonight. We all enjoyed it so much, and everybody in the chat was just raving about you. So, and trying to keep up with all the clever things that you said.
Well, I think it was recorded, so you can play it back slow.
We can watch it on Facebook again and again.
Don't go away, Swami. Don't go away, Steve, because I want to read some of the comments that have come in. And then you've sent me like 3 different things to show, and I'm going to show all of them. So, so a few of the comments that came in. Kiki writes, Swami comedy, laughter equals smiles, equals happiness, equals love. And Eleanor Joy says, wow, to humorize and humanize and harmonize. Carol Craig writes, humor is an excellent strategy. I used it in my classroom. My kids called me firm, fair, flexible, and fun. I could make my students laugh in some of our most intense moments, and they really appreciated that. Mark McCormick writes, this is absolutely perfect, Steve. Very synchronistic timing. You are a genius. And a reminder, Rev Deb reminds us, you can find Richard Flyer, like fly, Flyer, on Substack. Dr. Laura writes, random acts of comedy. That's what we need. Marley wants to learn some of the ways that you bring levity. So you've got a student there waiting for you. Dr. Laura says, this is fantastic. Laughter is the shortest distance between two people. And finally, Pam writes, so much fun and the humor Swami shares. Thank you for the wisdom and the laughs. Now, some wonderful ways to get more of Swami. His primary website is wakeuplaughing.com. Now think about that double entendre. Wake up, that's what he's helping us to do, laughing. Wake up laughing. And there's a lot there. You can watch some of his comedy clips, but there's his calendar. You can see all that he's doing, notes from the trail. So definitely go to wakeuplaughing.com. And then if you want the book that he wrote with Bruce Lipton, and we love Bruce Lipton, we just had a show dedicated to Bruce a couple of weeks ago, you can get it on Amazon. It's, again, Spontaneous Evolution. Just go to Amazon and pick it up. You can get it as a Kindle or an audiobook, hardcover, paperback, lots of ways to get that book. So definitely do that. And then
I
finally,
still recommend Driving Your Own Karma.
I haven't seen that book in years. I may have a copy in storage somewhere.
is it still available, Steve?
Apparently, yeah, it's Inner Traditions. You're right, 1989. And boy, it was hard to find that car for the photo. It was really hard to find that car. But anyway, yeah, so that was the original. And that was back when
no, you are the original.
Steve, tell us finally about this. This is your Substack. So this is how people can subscribe to you, right?
Yes, and also I'm writing my story. It's called Travels with Swami, a wiser guy's journey from new age to old age. And and that's sort of my recollections, my pre-Swami days and all of the mischief that I was involved with, and interesting, amazing people that I've met, great adventures, and hopefully a funny book. So I'm releasing that in installments. If you go to the Substack, you can find out how to be part of that.
Okay, so
And
again,
that's the best way to reach me. You can reach me at my at info@wakeuplaughing.com
okay.
if you want some coaching or want to find out more about my programs.
And just to kind of bring it back to tonight's show, is there anything you'd like to share about your inspiration as one of our elders watching our new leaders for an awakening world?
Well, I'm really happy to see that there are people who are expecting to be around for 50 or 60 or 70 years and are doing something about it. And, realizing that it's not going to come from some great technological savior or some great political leader, or God coming down in the basket. We are the Messiah as we act collectively and together to bring about this symbiotic culture that Richard is writing about. So if you want to be inspired, I really suggest that you look at what Richard has been doing. He is working with mostly with young people, mostly with people in their 20s and 30s now, who are starting these symbiotic networks in all parts of the world as kind of our laboratory, as kind of our symbiotic culture lab. So I am so excited about this multi-generational aspect because everything in what Richard calls the culture of separation tends to keep everybody in their little silos. And this is all about coming out of the silos and collaborating, cooperating, communicating, and co-creating together.
Beautiful.
So I'm inspired by everybody I saw. I love the music. I love Tatiana's music. I love that. And I love the fact that there are new things happening everywhere. And the world is now in good hands.
Absolutely. Steve, love you so much. Thank you. Say, I give some thanks to Swami if you happen to see him for us.
I'll tell him.
Steve, Marley is asking in the chat whether info@laughingsteve.com is your email.
At info@wakeuplaughing.com, or even better, Swami B, as in Beyondananda, number one, not Roman numeral, Swami B1 @gmail.com.
Okay.
SWAMI B, as in Beyondananda, numeral 1. Quickest way to reach me.
Okay. Swami B #1 @gmail.com. That's the way to reach him.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
Good. Thank you so much.
Well, he was just talking about how he enjoys music, and our next leader is somebody that we met again through Soul Search. Once a month we do a collaboration with Tangela and the Soul Search community, and this is Banah Winn, and he is. It's funny. I ran into him. I went to a concert that my friend Ray Amano was playing at. There was this tall guy, and I go, "Oh my God!" And anyway, I got a chance to meet him. Person, very tall, and very talented.
So are you.
Well, that's true.
You are tall and talented too.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Well, same question that we've asked everybody, and he's going to share some words and some music. So in whatever order you wish, music, words, music, however you wish to combine it. But tell us your vision for an awakening world and your role in creating that.
Yeah, my vision for an awakening world. I think my vision at this point feels a bit more general. So I've gotten very much into my perspective being very like frequency based and feeling based. So it feels whole and it feels authentic. I think it really all comes back to authenticity. It's a place where everyone feels safe to be authentic and everyone's authenticity is supported. And yeah, I've already been experiencing a lot of that in my life. Just living, well, I would say about like 5 years ago, I dedicated myself to what I would call like intuitive living. So basically just ditched any idea of any sort of plan or structure at the time. And I decided I got really into Abraham Hicks. It was like at the beginning of my spiritual journey. And so I basically started the process of, attune myself to a vibration and then just follow it and see what happens. And of course, naturally, over many years, intuition says, hey man, it's time to start building some structure again in your life, but it's still a part of intuition. So the point I'm getting to is that after doing that for some time and just like really watching sort of how the patterns unfold and the cycles of like, from stillness and sort of peace and neutrality that like a frequency or an essence starts to build, and how that just unfolds in my life, and I get to see all the evidence and the interactions and how either others will inspire me or I can be an inspiration to others in our meeting. Just for example, I was right before hopping on this call, I'm in Encinitas right now because I'm touring, doing my sing-alongs, and I was walking along the beach, and my friend suggested we take a right turn, and someone I know that I met a year ago in Sedona walks around the corner. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he's been wanting to attend one of my sing-alongs, and we're having one tomorrow. So now he gets to come to a sing-along tomorrow, and it's just such a confirmation that it's like, even though it appears that there's one world we live in, I really believe simultaneously, there's like an infinite amount of sort of worlds or life experiences, almost like discs stacked on top of each other. And so it's really interesting that like it feels like once you get really locked into one, it like doesn't matter where you go on the planet, you kind of like start running into the same people who are like in the same vibe, and they have that same like twinkle in their eye. So I think my vision for the world is that it starts with everyone has whatever their own version of having that twinkle in their eye is, that feels like life and light, and then everything comes from that. Everything that we build is from that, and obviously a big part of that is sustainability and how we show up and how we treat the earth, us being basically cells of the planet, cells of the mother herself, so honoring the planet we're on, and how we treat each other. So I see a world, it's like just fighting it becomes irrelevant, because once we realize, and I feel like so many people in this call, that we are ourselves, we are reflections of ourselves, and we are our brothers and sisters. So like, why am I gonna keep fighting with myself, forever? It just doesn't make any sense anymore. So, and that doesn't mean we all have to have the same opinion. So my role in that, my journey has really been geared around two things. I talked about intuition. That's been just such a huge part of my life, and so has music. So it's really the combining of the two. My concerts, I almost consider to be musical intuitive ceremonies. I never have a plan, and I always try to like ride the perfect line between creating a structure where people feel free and like, but they feel held, and they feel safe, but they also feel free to express themselves, and doing it in a way where everyone can really come together and unify on a singular frequency. So I always say, like, when I start my events, like, my only purpose is to be a shepherd of bringing everyone together and to be an uplifter. And so like, if it's a very joyous group, like, let's play in joy and let's like jump up and down and scream and act like big kids. And if it needs to be really deep and healing and alchemizing, I'll do that as well. And then as far as like some more like one-on-one work I do, I've been doing intuitive and psychic development with people. So I basically developed a 4-step process to open people's intuition, and if people's intuition is already open, to really take it deeper. I think there's some sort of universal fundamentals that really work, and yeah, I've just discovered over my intuitive journey and working as a psychic at Center for New Age in Sedona. Yeah, so that's what I have to say. Do you have it? Yeah, does that answer your question?
It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The one thing is, after you play, we still need to know the best way to reach you.
Sure.
So definitely pop that in the chat box, and I'll share it verbally.
Okay.
And you've got a musical offering for us.
Yeah, I'm gonna play a song. I have time for one song.
You sure do.
Okay. So usually I lead sing-alongs, but so if you want to sing along at home, you can. You know, into the room. So it's the whole song is a call and response, and it's really just about joy. Let me sink into it here. I get to share my light with the world. Ain't nothing gonna change that now. I get to live in my greatest joy. Seeing you light up, I'm like, oh boy. 'Cause I get to share my light with the world. Watch you light right up with me. We'll play around, enjoy you see. In this life we are free. And it's joy, joy, joy. It's joy, joy, joy. It's joy, joy, joy. It's my greatest joy. Yeah. I feel like the song is the best answer to your question. Because the world I want to live in feels like this. Joyful and peaceful and easy and fun. We get to share a lot with the world, yeah. We share it wherever we go. Watch things come into harmony. What a treat it is to be happy. It's joy, joy, joy. It's joy, joy, joy. It's my greatest. Joy, joy, joy. It's my greatest joy. And for the inner child, I get to play with my friends all day. Because it should be fun too. Running around saying, hey, hey, yeah. We just want to share with you. Yes, we do, and we are. This unspoken greater truth. It's simple, really. Yes, it is. It's joy, joy, joy. Alright, sing along at home. It's joy, joy, joy. It's my greatest. Joy, joy, joy. Yeah. It's my greatest joy. Yeah. One more round, everyone. It's joy, joy, joy. It's joy, joy, joy. It's my greatest for your heart. Joy, joy, joy. Yeah. It's my greatest joy. Yeah. It's my greatest joy. Yeah. It's my greatest joy, yeah. It's my greatest joy. It's my greatest joy. The new earth is a fun place.
That's all Twinkle, this beautiful Banah Winn.
Oh, I'm twinkling you guys back. Thank you so much. That was so beautiful to see everyone vibing along.
And a reminder that he does these wonderful sing-alongs. So if you are interested in any of his services, a sing-along, a harmonic conscious sing-along, mind you, or an Akashic Records reading, or an intuitive and psychic development experience, Banah is your guy. And the best way to reach him is, he's putting it in right now.
I'm just going to type in my email right there. Or
Okay,
you can
great.
just look at my website. So the link I sent you, the link tree, has everything. Tour dates coming up. Doing 2 in LA next weekend. 1 at the beach, and 1 we're going to hike this place called Wisdom Tree. And then I'm doing a Harmony in Sedona. I'll do 1 in Austin, Texas. And then I'm playing a festival called Convergence. And it's on the border of New Mexico and Colorado. And that, I think, is the 14th of September. Yeah, and all the readings and the intuitive and psychic development I do online on Zoom. So
Beautiful. And I just actually am pulling up your link tree right now, so we can all take a look at it. And, Linktree is a great way to, track a lot of information from someone. And so if you go to Linktree, that's linktr.ee, and then put in Banah Winn, BANAHWINN, and that's where you can learn about all the different things that he's doing.
yeah, I'll just link that in the chat too real quick. There you go. Boom, that's it.
Yeah, there we go. And I'll put in your whole spiel there one more time.
Yay.
Thank you so much, brother. Look forward
Thank
to
you.
seeing
Yeah. It was so good to see you in Berkeley, and thank you for just being a part of a beautiful synchronistic life and all the work you do and everything that everyone was doing here.
My pleasure.
Yeah, feel very blessed.
Deb, anything you want to say to Banah?
Just that it's wonderful to meet him, and yet again, a multi-talented, multi-dimensional new leader. So good to have you aboard.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. I want to thank 3 of you who have written to me privately. Scott, are you feeling okay? It's the lighting. I know I look super pale because there was so much lighting coming in. So I'm actually in a really beautiful place. I'm in good spirits. I'm in good health. So thank you for your concern. And I wasn't able to go in and change my settings to make myself look a little bit less pale, but it was lighting and nothing more than that, which we are thankful for. Let's see what's happening next on our agenda. We are kind of in the home stretch here, and we get to meet another in our final new leader that we're meeting tonight, and this is Ashita. And some of you remember her from previous I think you've been on twice before with Soul Search.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and you've got a Soul Search TV show. We'll go take a look at that in a moment. But this is Ashita, who's had an amazing life. And Rev Deb, we learned a little bit more about her yesterday when we had our meeting of the new Synergy Circle core members.
That was exciting to meet Ashita. Look at that smile.
Thank you. Excited to be here. I'm really, really honored to be a part of this really amazing group of people. And so far, everybody shared so many amazing things that they're doing to hold space for the world and shift it and help it evolve. And I think, we need so many people. We need all hands on deck right now doing all of the ways of healing, holding the space in all of the different ways. And it's just really a joy to be able to be a participant in all of this. So thank you both for creating this space to be able to share with everyone that this is happening and possible, and then also the space for people to come together and do this work. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sheeta, one of the things that I just recently learned about you is that you were psychic from such a super early age, and then learning how to manage that and work with it. And I'm guessing that there are other people watching who also, have been maybe shamed or embarrassed about their extra powers or their ways that they're not a normal human being. And I'd love for you to talk a little bit about maybe your journey with that, and then any recommendations of how to claim your supernatural powers.
Absolutely. So I believe we're all psychic beings. We're all intuitive beings. Our intuition is a gift, a tool that we have been given for lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes, and we've mastered how to use it in some lifetimes, and we take it with us. And so when we allow ourselves to use our tool, our innate tool, just like we use our hands every day, we use our eyes every day, if we have those, or if we use our other body parts that we have, that is how we get to use our intuition in the world. And so, and that's how it should be. That's our right to be able to use it. And so I was very lucky that I was born in a Hindu family where I find Hinduism is very open in its philosophies and its beliefs and its rituals. And so as I was born in India, I mean, there was actually, you know, there's a ton of coincidences around my birth. I guess you can't really call them coincidences. They're more like synchronicities. But I have a whole podcast episode on my podcast called Soul Healer with a special interview from my parents. I interview them, and the episode is about what it's like to parent a psychic child. And I made it because, just like you said, Scott, there are so many people who can relate to my story because we've opened up our gifts in the beginning of our lifetimes, but then we don't allow ourselves to expand on them as we go. So that was a really special interview where my parents kind of share about the whole birth and how that was special for them, and then how they saw me as I grew as an intuitive child. And they really didn't know, truthfully, they didn't really know that I was being as intuitive as I was being. They just knew that I knew things somehow, and I was experiencing things, and I was very, very sensitive. So, and I had interests in spirituality from the get-go. When I was 3 years old, my favorite place was the temple. I wanted to sit there and just be in that transcendental meditative energy. And as I got older, I would go off to Barnes and Noble, or Borders at the time, and sit there and read all the spiritual books as I could. And that was just my favorite thing. And then I went off to college, and it was my first year there, and I, you know, did whatever I needed to do. I'd come back to my dorm room, and then I'd meditate and meditate and meditate and meditate. And then things got just really out of control. And so that's when I found my psychic training and started to get things in control. But I think as people who are so intuitive, if you're on this show, I can guarantee that that's who you are too. Someone who's experienced deep gifts or moments of profound wisdom. And sometimes we don't actually know how to interpret that. And the first thing, so that's my mission, really. The first thing that I do is I teach people how to first make peace with the body so that they can understand and control the messages that are coming in, and find joy and ease and grace and love and awareness with all that stuff. Because truly, on the other side of that duality of it can be scary, it can be overwhelming, it can be confusing, it can be frustrating. And so when we can change that process in a grounded state to be able to feel empowered by it and really be able to interpret it, then we get to win. Then we get to evolve together. And I know, Scott, the question that you've been asking people is, you know, what is your vision of this awakening world? And so for me, as someone who really relies on her intuition and uses that to really navigate life, I really see my world, or the awakening world, as a world where we can step into trusting ourselves. And I think Simon said this, something similar, being our authentic self. And I believe that happens when we are tapped into our intuition and allow that intuition to start to speak for itself, and we don't hinder it or block it. And that trusting of our intuition leads to an authentic, aligned self. And when we feel out of alignment, I would hope in this awakening world that we have space to feel like we're in community and in safety, with ease and grace and love, to be able to face that scariness or that unalignment or that feeling of vulnerability that is uncomfortable, so that we can evolve together. Because at the end of the day, we're all, you know, evolving for each other, because we're all the universe. I was just in Bali leading a retreat there, and I was talking to some of the locals, and I really truly love, I mean, they're Hindu there in Bali as well, but they approach Hinduism so differently. So it was really lovely to be in that energy. But something that one of the locals said to me, they said, you know, we believe that you are me and I am you. And that's how we live life. And that's, I would hope that our awakened world is that too. Even more of that, a global worldwide belief that is held, that I am you and you are me, and that we can face this together and evolve together.
Wow. Thank you so much. One of our regular the members of the Evolutionary Leaders Network are Pato and Antoinette, and they have made a beautiful documentary film that we've highlighted about the spirit of Ubuntu, which is the African version of that. I am because we are. Yeah, and so it's, you know, the understanding of oneness comes to us in so many different ways. And thank you for sharing it. And you're just a beautiful communicator.
That's the spirit of namaste also, isn't it?
Yes, so yeah, the light in me sees the light in you. Yes, exactly. Namaste. Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. And I love your cross-cultural experience and how that enriches everything that you talk about. You're such a bright light.
Oh, I appreciate that. I feel like I got very lucky in this lifetime to be able to have both, to be able to communicate in a way that is a little bit more global. So
I'm not sure it's luck, but yes, it's a
yeah.
wonderful thing.
Right? Everything is truly destined. So yeah, and we've all worked lifetimes to get where we're getting to. So absolutely, that's right. Nothing is luck. Nothing is coincidence. It's all meant to be.
Beautiful. Well, there's a couple of websites I want to show for her. Her primary website is Clairvoyant Healer Ashita. Her name is spelled Ishita, Ishita.com. So Clairvoyant Healer Ishita.com. And that's where you can actually learn about her, sign up for her newsletter for sure, and get a reading from her. You can book a 30-minute reading, a 1-hour reading, or you can book her as a speaker at your event. And as we've all heard, she is a wonderful, powerful speaker. So that's one way to reach her. And then
just add, Scott, since you're talking about it. So until the 19th, because yesterday was my birthday, I'm doing a special discount for readings. So I think I put my link tree in wherever my bio is so that you guys can have that. And if you look right at the first 3 links, those are the discounted links for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and an hour. So feel free to grab those before the 19th because those links will go away. Take advantage of that. And then one more thing that I wanted to share with you, speaking of being a speaker, you see that 4th link. I love travel, and I think travel is a very spiritual way of being able to connect yourself. I am going to be a speaker talking about manifestation and how to manifest your divine life at the Spirit Heart Cruise, which is going to Mexico. So me and several other speakers are going to be there. It's going to be decked out in speakers and spiritual wisdom. So if you want to come, and it's in December, so it's a really perfect time to listen to all these speakers, hear some wisdom before you manifest the next energies that you're ready to step into in 2025. And we'll be going to Honduras, and then I believe we'll have a couple stops in Mexico, and being able to actually see and have quite a powerful meditation at some of the spiritual sites in Mexico is going to be very profound. It's going to be amazing. So I'd love to have you if that's something that you are open to.
Beautiful. So again, you can find that by going to her link tree and then clicking on all about the Spirit Heart Cruise. And that's going to be taking place. We set sail on December 8th, and it's out of Galveston. And they're going to go to Honduras and Cozumel. I love Cozumel. I learned how to scuba dive there.
Oh,
so
I love that.
that's very, very special. Ashita, thank you so much. Of course, we'll be seeing you at our Source of Synergy Circle meetings. And I'm sure you'll be on the Awakening World again soon. Thank you so much. Oh, well. What are some of your closing thoughts as we're getting now? We're going to have another Omashar song. We're going to have KES Healing from Maggie. But as we kind of conclude this part of the show, Rev Deb, anything you'd like to share or express?
I'm just so excited about our new Synergy Circle to bring these extraordinary younger people together. And it opens my heart. It gives me hope for the future. And it's just a joy. As as we heard beautiful musical expression of that joy. So it's been a wonderful program, and I'm really grateful to you, Scott, for bringing us all together, and so that we could share the joy with Banah and the inspiration with all of these amazing speakers. And I'm very excited to announce that our new Synergy Circle is live on our Synergy Circles page.
Let me pull that up right now. I've got it here. There it is. And which color did you give us?
Well, everybody has the same color. So it's not in the Kumu diagram yet, but if you scroll down to the alphabetical listing.
Oh, so this is a chance for everybody to see the different Synergy circles.
Yes, and we'll have to ask John Raymer to expand that Kumu diagram to include the this new one. So just go on down until you get to New Generation, and we're going to have to ask one of our young leaders to make us a graphic so we really stand out.
Absolutely, and we're going to have a video that Tatiana has agreed to make for us. There
Isn't
we
that
are.
exciting? And there we are. So
right.
This is it. This is our debut on the Awakening World. And I can't think of a better place to do that.
Rev Deb, thank you so much for everything you do. You really are the mama bear for the evolutionary leaders. And now for this new Synergy Circle. I always love co-hosting with you. Thank
you so much. Thank you for the invitation. It's great to be here with the Global Peace Tribe. Thank you to everybody who's been in the chat. Wow. It's such a supportive group. You know, it's beautiful to see all of the comments and everybody dancing as well. So I'm looking forward to Omashar's closing song.
Absolutely. I want to also, you know, Rev Deb, we really have become a tight community, and we also support each other. And I just learned tonight that one of our regulars, she's been with us forever, Diane Moyer, lost her mother very suddenly. And I'm not sure if Diane is still with us. She was with us at the beginning of the show and just kind of let us know that her mother had suddenly passed, and that's why she had missed a few of our shows. And so just like for us to take a moment for us to send maximum grace.
She's here.
Oh, she is. Let me find her. Where is she? Where are you, Diane? I'm looking for you. There you are. Thank you. And Diane didn't know that I was going to do this. And I hope you don't mind, Diane, but you are a precious member of our community. And so I want us to send maximum grace to you, to your family, and to your mother as she makes this incredible journey back home, this great transition. Maximum grace for you and your family. Maximum grace. I'm going to go to gallery view for a moment.
I love her animals behind her.
That's right.
Did you do that? Are you an artist? Beautiful.
And I see a giraffe there. And of course, giraffe is the symbol.
Smoking a cigarette, I think. Oh, beautiful. Lovely work.
Diane, do you want to say anything? Is there anything you'd like to share? No? Okay. Thank you so much. We love you in maximum grace. And I want to make one other, we're going to do a few Global Peace Tribe announcements, but the most important one is that next week we are going to have a very special added show. And that is going to be a special show for a special soul. Many of our regulars know Piper Dellums, and so one of the synergy circles is Artists Catalyzing Evolution. And all the members of that synergy circle, well, not all, but many of us, are going to be coming together on Thursday, August 22nd. And everybody's going to provide something. Gary Malkin will play music. Kristen will play music. Casey will dance. Charles will do some poetry. Summer will dance. And so it's going to be a very special event. So please, everybody, right now, put into your calendar Thursday night, August 22nd. Now, we're going to be piggybacking on Summer Joy's dance-a-thon. She's going to start her next 4-hour dance at 2:22 p.m. Pacific time. And then we'll come flowing in at about 6 p.m. with this event for Piper. For those of you who are already members of the Global Peace Tribe, I will send out an email with the special Zoom room link for Thursday night. But for those of you who are watching who have not joined the Global Peace Tribe yet, please come join us. It's a wonderful organization. As you can see, we love each other very much. We do amazing things together, and it's very easy to join us. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com. And you can learn all about us. You can see what shows we've got coming up. There's the show we're doing tonight. There's the show we did on Wednesday. You can see a lot of the people that we have on us. There's Marianne Williamson, who's been on several times recently. Michael Beckwith, who is somebody we all love, and so it goes. And you can register and join us. And just click register for the new season. That'll take you to the registration page. And there's lots of different levels you can come in at, as low as $22 for students and seniors. And then you get the Zoom room links for all of our shows. And it's great to be in the Zoom room because that's where there's all the chat going on and you can get all the links. We do shows every Wednesday and Saturday night, and then a lot of special shows like the one we're doing next Thursday. So everybody join us for Dancing with Summer Joy at 2:22 p.m. Pacific time. And then at 6 o'clock for this very special extra event that we're going to be doing. And do you want to share a little bit about what's happening on September 21st, Rev Deb? Because that's going to be a full, amazing event. And you're a little bit more tapped into everything happening that day than I am even.
I'm so excited about this. I'm not sure I can contain it to a brief announcement.
Take your time. Take as much time as you
want. I think the whole Global Peace Tribe knows that September 21st is the United Nations International Day of Peace. And before I got involved with the Evolutionary leaders, my job was to share May Peace Prevail on Earth at the United Nations. And I did that for 20 years and also around the world, but a lot of the work was at the UN. And it was focused in a major way on the International Day of Peace. I worked with my beloved colleague, Monica Willard. We worked as a team. She was representing the United Religions Initiative, and I was representing May Peace Prevail on Earth. And we actually worked with the UN Department of Public Information to put on a student observance every year that was webcast, and also to promote the theme and the day to our NGO colleagues all over the world. And gradually people began to hear about it, and people began to do webcasts. And Pathways to Peace, another wonderful organization, was really seminal in spreading this. But now it's out there. And it's out there as an opportunity for the world to come together on one day and celebrate peace in any way that you might want to. So this year, Ben Bowler of Unity Earth, who has been a guest on this program and is also part of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle, he's spearheading this initiative called Unite for Peace. And it's centered on that day and on the minute of silence at 12 noon in every time zone. So this is the webpage at unite4peace.org. And you can see at the bottom a number of organizations, including the Source of Synergy Foundation, which is the mothership for the Evolutionary Leaders, and Garden of Light, which is my personal organization, and the one with the globe and the little people on it, that's May Peace Prevail on Earth International, and all of these amazing organizations. But there will be many more that come on board to this. So I can't encourage you any stronger to go to this page, unite4peace.org, and sign up to get the information and to be part of this global campaign for peace. Just think, now that we're sitting here completely inspired by all of these young leaders who have shared their visions from their hearts with us, imagine that we can manifest all of these dreams on this planet. As Swami said, instead of having a tug of war, we get on the same side and have a tug of peace. So let's do that on September 21st. Take that minute of silence at 12 noon, wherever you are in whatever time zone. Create that beautiful peace wave all over the world, but also any other projects. Like Swami is giving a performance that day, so he can dedicate that to peace. And he's going to be part of a major event in San Francisco on that day that Pathways to Peace is organizing. I'm going to be with Unity Earth in Japan with the family that is started May Peace Prevail on Earth. And they're going to be doing a beautiful program from Hiroshima, which is certainly a place to turn around the energy from war to peace. And there will be other programs from different parts of the world that will be shown on Hubcast Media. And I know that Scott is planning some very special programming for that day as well here on the Awakening World. So what a gorgeous opportunity for all of us to stand up for peace. The peace that we've been waiting for our whole lifetime, and maybe many more. So please join me and join me in the prayer. May peace prevail on earth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deborah. I love you so much. I so appreciate you, and I always enjoy any chance to collaborate and collaborate with you. It's just beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, I see people are signing up now for
People are
Unite for
signing up.
Peace.
I'm going to read a couple of comments that came in that really touched my heart. This is from Ayada. She writes, "This evening has opened a portal for me into the healing of my younger self, many decades ago, who was very gifted and intuitive. And I know now that I was born a healer, but my gift was judged and shamed into recession. So tonight I'm having flashes of my precious younger self coming alive in a new way, finding herself in loving, supportive company. Seeing all of our wonderful and youthful evolutionary leaders tonight is incredibly inspiring and reassuring, as I know that healing happens in the quantum field and is timeless. I feel a big shift coming on me. Thank you all for your precious offerings and for joining us here tonight." Isn't that beautiful? And I noticed that she and Ashita have been texting since then. Mark McCormick writes, "Definitely a great night. Transformative music, humorizing activism. Rev Deb, looking forward to September 21 and the International Day of Peace, as well as the UN Summit of the Future the day after on September 22nd. Thank you for making us aware and for your amazing work." And she does so much amazing work. So thank you, everybody in our Global Peace Tribe audience that's been sharing. And we are going to have a KES group healing, but let's go to Omashar for a song.
Woo!
Love is all there is. So put your hand in mine. Keep open your heart. We are love divine. Love is all there is. Love makes you feel good. Love is perfect. Love is all there is. Anything less is nothing. Love's for everyone. Love is in everyone. Love is you. You are love. Love is. Truth is in everyone. Love is truth. Truth is love. Love is. Love is. Love is. Love is all. Love is not a dream. Love's all there is. Love's what we live for. And this love lives in you. Touching you. Guiding you. Love is in everyone. Love is you. You are love. Love is. Truth is in everyone. Love is truth. Truth is love. Love is. Love is. Love is. Love is Love is Love is all there is. So put your hand in mine. Keep open your heart. We are love divine.
Winkles for Omashar. Appreciation for this wonderful man. We love him so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And Omashar will be with us on Wednesday night again. We have another wonderful show. Wednesday night's going to be artists and authors that we love. And Kurt Johnson and one of his people, one of their newest books will be with us, as well as Marcy Winters and Christopher Stubbs, who are going to meet some wonderful new artists and authors on Wednesday night.
And young Scott, may I just say something?
Absolutely. Earthstock.
Like you're going to say no. And yes, so Earthstock Festival Summit in Crestone starts on Monday. Earthstocksummit.com, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Just check it out. It's an amazing beginning of something very, very awesome that's happening. And I'll be playing remotely on this coming Saturday, 1 to 2:30 in the afternoon. I play my Metapop music there. And so anyway, check it out and like it and love it and subscribe and all that. And just encourage it forward, because it's a powerful movement that we are all doing together with all of these amazing groups around the world. So thank you for that moment, Scott.
And again, it's absolutely the Earthstock Summit. Just go to earthstocksummit.com. And of course, all of our Global Peace Tribers, remember, we did an entire show dedicated to this, where so many of the main speakers that were going to be there were on the show. But definitely check it out. And it's an amazing gathering of people. So definitely go to earthstocksummit.com. And thank you, Amishore, for the reminder about that. All right.
On Wednesday, you're going to meet Karuna.
Tell us about Karina, because I don't know her other than she's going to be on my show on Wednesday night.
She is a very special lady. She is a beautiful ex-model who is a Kundalini yoga teacher. And she has just written a new book. And that's what she and Kurt will be talking about. And I'm really looking forward to hearing what she's written about and more about her story. And I know you're all going to enjoy meeting her.
That was amazing, Deborah, because I actually met Karuna last night.
What?
I was at Humanities Team at a social gathering where Steve Bhaerman, the
got an award. He got the one.
He got an award. The only person on the planet that's had the same award is the Dalai Lama, right?
And I was there for that one.
And so we had a beautiful gathering last night, and it was just a gathering of folks like ourselves. And Karuna came up and tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Are you sharp?" And anyway, lovely. What synchronicity, what serendipity.
How wonderful. And how wonderful to mention that Olivia Hanson presented Steve Bhaerman of Humanities Team.
I met her for the first time,
and
I loved her. She was just like the cosmic mother.
She's a very bright light and another one of our evolutionary leaders.
Wow, I didn't even know any of that. I mean, so there's only one of us here.
I rest your case.
Well, the show's not over yet. We've got something really, really special. And that is, we haven't had a KES group healing for a little while. It's been a few weeks. And our beloved Maggie, who's one of our core new leaders of the Synergy Circle, is, of course, a KES healer. And Maggie, welcome back again. And share with anybody watching, because there are people watching who don't know what KES healing is all about. So share a little bit about what you're going to be doing. And I'm turning it over to you.
Thank you so much, Scott. And wow, what a beautiful, precious show. Thank you for everyone joining and for your music, Omashar. So beautiful and uplifting. Love the love song. Yes, a little bit about KES is that it stands for the Christic Energy System. And what it mostly does is it works with the main karmas of the soul. And so we pinpoint different core wounds or specific patterns that you may play out. And what we do is all energy wants to do is complete itself. So we bring that energy into completion. And of course, healing happens in layers. And so the Christic Energy System is designed to help kind of reset you to a new pinpoint. And so we will just do a mini session tonight because I know that it's getting late. But what we usually do is we start off with clearing and centering the field, and we'll go into really anything. Tonight, when I was tuning in and checking. I was thinking we could work with the core wound of fear tonight. And we'll just do a little bit of that, and then we'll go into silence. And the silence is when, of course, during these sessions, I am not doing anything. I step out of the way and allow spirit to come through. And so during the silence, the energy is streaming to help reset the set point. And so we can look at our bodies as software almost. You know, we are the world's greatest technology. And as technology can upgrade, so can we. And how can we do that? We can do that by clearing our energetic field. We're so much more than this body. And so we have our emotional body, our mental body, our causal body, and all different types of energy bodies. And so we are just bigger than this body, and we walk around in these big toroidal fields. And the more that we can, clear from the causal body or any traumas in the emotional body, any looping emotions or looping thought forms passed down even from ancestors, the lighter we can be and the more light we can absorb. And one of my mentors always says, you don't have to chase the light. It will naturally happen and you will naturally embody it the more that we clear and the more that we let go of our conditioning or anything no longer serving. And so with
Maggie,
that,
a quick question.
yeah.
When you're not speaking, would you like for Omashar to play soft music?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I will message you, Omashar. Thank you for asking. So we'll start, and I invite you to either get in a comfortable meditation position or just lay down. And again, we're just going to do a short session, so it'll be about 20 minutes. And yeah, you're welcome to turn your cameras off if that makes you more comfortable, but you can turn your lights off as well. And I invite you just to get really, really comfortable. And then we'll get started. And so if everyone just wants to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth, and just do 2 more of those. Closing your eyes, getting any wiggles out. Deep breaths coming into the body, calling all parts of yourself to be here and now, moving down from the mental to the heart space. And we'll set our container by visualizing a platform of light below us and a pyramid of light around us, surrounded by a white flame of transmutation. And we'll seal this space with the white flame, calling forth the Holy Mother, Holy Father, Source, giving thanks to all the guardians, the elementals of the space that we are in, the directions that hold us so gently. We call in your guides and guardians of the highest light and love to be present during this KES holding mini session. Consecrating this space in the one source light. And now we're going to work with fear. And so I invite you to tune in what comes up when you hear the word fear. We will find what comes up, whether it's fear of death, fear of what's happening in the world, anything that it brings up,
And I invite you to find where it is in your body. This is a co-creation. And pinpoint if it's in the heart, if it's in the stomach. And I want you to bring that up fully and completely. And fear is missing the light. And so what you can do is visualize maybe a tangled ball or a gray ball where this fear is. And as we work with this fear, we're going to send the Christic spiral. You can see this sand of light, this little tiny light going in the center of this ball, of this energetic blockage. And I want you to see this light consuming this cloud or untangling the knot. As we work with the cosmic Christ, the Holy Mother, Father, guardians, guides, to help release this energetic blockage. And whether it's fear, anxiety, or anything that it brings up, just observe it and know that it is not you. And allow it to dissipate as this Christic light comes in the container. Notice if you feel a shift, and if not, that is okay. The energy is still working. And as you breathe in this light and allow it to consume this fear, you can visualize planting this fear in the earth. You can energetically tell it your gratitude for its lesson, and tell it that it is no longer needed. And tell your conscious mind, your energetic body, your guides, that you are ready to let this go. And we allow grace and we allow the transmutation into a higher octave to be able to release all that is no longer serving and to receive all that we are ready to receive, to step into greater leadership, to step into greater guardianship for the coming times of great change that is upon us.
And I'm going to invite in the ascended aspect of the sun and the moon to come into our container, to balance our lunar and solar channels within the body. Feel the right side of your brain, the left side of your brain, coming into complete coherence, balance, and harmony. Feel it operating as one. Feel your center power column of light expanding, fully being consumed, your body entirely absorbed in your center column of light and expanding into your emotional body, your mental body, all the way out into your celestial body. See if you can bring awareness to not just your body, but the energy bodies around you. And come into that expanded state of consciousness where you become the witness of your life. You wake up with gratitude, with joy, to be of service to the earth. Imagine a new set point and what that set point looks like for you. Bring that feeling into your body to re-imprint the emotions, the waters, the thoughts. And sit in this new set point for just a few minutes as we allow this set point to anchor and continue to stream this light. And allow a gentle smile to rise. Feel that smile within your heart. And when you're ready, you can place your hands on your heart, giving thanks to your heartbeat, to Mother Earth, to all the guardians, guides, angels, cosmic Christ that helped in this mini session with such grace, gratitude, and love. We complete this session and close this field and open to any messages, whether that be in the dream time or in the next few days, and to know that you can always return to this space of peace and harmony. And gently wiggling your body, bringing some movement back. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes. And thank you so much for co-creating and receiving.
Thank you, Maggie. Thank you so much.
Of course.
And again, I want to take people to her website. It's maggierosealchemy.com. And this is where you can learn more about the work that she does and how she does it. And I'm imagining that people can reach you this way, yeah?
Yes, yeah. Please direct message me. I have my phone number on there and also my email.
Great, yeah. If you scroll down to the bottom, there it is. And I'll leave that up for a few moments. If anybody watching on Facebook or YouTube or in our Zoom room wants to write down your email address or your phone number, there it is.
Thank you, Scott.
Oh,
And
go ahead.
That's just a little session, and I do love one-on-ones because we can just go really deep. And so if there's ever a situation or something that you need help working through, please don't hesitate to reach out. I know that I do this work because I've had profound healings from it. And so I'm always happy to share what has helped me on my journey.
And you've helped other people have profound healings as well, Maggie. So I want to acknowledge that as well. I'm going to bring our beloved Omashar up also. Thank you, Omashar, for always being with us at the very beginning, all to the end, all the music that you add. Yeah, thank you so much.
That was so beautiful, Omashar. Thank you for adding that.
And Rev Deb, wherever you are, thank you for being such a wonderful co-host. There she is. I had a feeling she was still with us. All right. Well, thank you, Global Peace Tribe. Thank you, everybody watching. Again, a big hello to those of you watching the recording of this. And all of our shows can be found on our YouTube channel. And I look forward to seeing you next week, where we have 3 shows. Wednesday night, the special Thursday night show for Piper, and Summer's Dance. Let's all start off by dancing with Summer. And then, of course, our Saturday night show as well. And for Global Peace Tribers, you'll get emails with all the details coming in the next few days. And for those of you who haven't joined yet, join us now. Join the Global Peace Tribe. It's a beautiful community, and we want you to be with us.
And we want you to support Scott in this beautiful mission that he has to bring us all together.
Thank you. Thank you. And there's some wonderful comments coming into the chat box. Dr. Laura writes, "Thank you, Maggie. That was so cleansing. I will go back into that meditation in a moment for further transmutation of any persistent fear lying deep in my body."
Absolutely. Yes.
Very beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. Love to each and every one of you. We'll see you next Wednesday night. God's blessings, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.